Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for coming here tonight. Appreciate it. We've got a interesting agenda for this evening. Before we get started, I'd like to get a motion to approve the minutes. Oh, pledge allegiance. Sorry. Let's do the pledge first. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ann. Appreciate that. Like a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any? Andy? Bill? Any comments? Any discussions about the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, so I'd like to start with public comment. Anybody has a comment from the public? Seeing none, we'll move over to new business. So tonight we received the architect's submissions. There were 8 firms that submitted. Everybody has taken a copy of the book, I hope, right? There's no extras, Kevin?
We might have had extras, but we had 8 for everybody.
Okay.
Some people might have gave a 9th in their bid package, or we might have made an extra copy. So
Yeah, did you take an extra copy? Because I think we have 1 plus 8 or something like that? Do you have a copy of the?
I have the
submissions?
originals in my office
Okay.
that don't leave the office. You have the PDF drive and a set of copies.
Okay. So I want to make sure that everybody's gotten the 8 copies. Make sure that there's no duplicate books, that you've taken 2 of 1 copy. Everybody have that? Okay, so good. So what we're going to be doing is it's a little bit of a homework assignment. I'm going to ask all of the building committee to take these books home, look them over, and then be prepared a week from tonight to review them, have a discussion, and then make a selection of, I think, 4 firms, I think, is what we want to do. So we have to, of the 8, we have to pick 4 of the 8. And basically what I want you to do is look at the books, read the kind of information that they've provided. And also, it wouldn't hurt if you need more information to look at their websites. Right? The websites will tell you a lot more than what the books have. So there really is no magic to looking over these submissions. Some of the things that I will be looking for is the record of successfully completed public schools. We want firms that have done this a number of times successfully. We want firms that are experienced with similar sized and programmed Connecticut schools. So it's not enough just to do schools. You want schools that have similar kinds of programs, middle schools, schools with sites that are occupied, that kind of thing. Very important, we want a good record of meeting the budgets and schedules. We have a finite amount of funding for this project. The project has to be completed within those funds. So we want firms and teams that are accustomed to meeting the budgets and being successful doing that. We also have a demand for a high-quality project. We want to make sure that the portfolio that's in these books or that you see online represents a high-quality product, high-quality design. This building is going to last a very, very long time, and we want firms that will leave a very good product when they're done. The design philosophy of the work, how do they deal with space? How do they deal with site? What do they say about public schools? What do they think about the philosophy of designing a middle school? Those are the things we want to look at. We also are concerned to some degree about the location of the office. Most of these firms are located in Connecticut, so it's probably not an issue. But we want to keep that in mind as well. Another important factor is the personnel actually assigned to the project, right? We want teams that are accustomed to working together, that have a long history of doing school projects successfully. Those are the kind of folks that we want on their team. It's okay to have some people that are new to designing schools, but we really want the project manager and the design architect to have lots and lots of experience designing schools. The mechanical and electrical team that they've assigned also needs a lot of school experience. This particular building is going to have a very sophisticated mechanical system, and we're going to be demanding very high performance. So we want to make sure that the team that they bring on board also has a lot of good experience. Another thing, we want to make sure that the team has adequate staff, and that's going to be a function of the size of their office as well as their workload. So keep that in mind as you're looking at the books to make sure that we think that they can actually meet our schedule. We have somewhat of an aggressive schedule. We want to make sure that they have the staff adequate to serve this particular project. Also, we want teams that are accustomed to designing sustainable schools, energy efficient schools. That's a requirement of the state as well as of the project. So we want them to talk in their proposal about the projects that they've done that are sustainable, highly energy efficient. Perhaps they've done some net zero schools, things like that. We want that addressed in their submissions. Another thing we want is creative problem solving. This is not an easy project to design. We're going to have issues of traffic. We're going to have issues of construction sequencing and phasing. All of those topics have to be addressed, and we want firms that are experienced working around schools that are occupied. And then of course there's the factors that are sensitive to your sensibilities and what you think the firm should be and the kind of work that they've done. So there's that factor as well. So the intent is to come together in about a week. Kevin?
Yeah, two things. When you go through the proposals, see if they worked with other construction management at risk. Two is make sure they identified both addendums. That won't disqualify, but they should have at least looked at both addendums that were posted. And third, it is an RFQ for qualifications. The other part you have in front of you is like 3%, 5% of the qualification. So just remind that we are looking for what Joe said, the most qualified that could take this project from beginning to end.
Thank you, Kevin. So when we reconvene about a week from now, what we'll do is we'll have a candid discussion about what you noticed in the RFPs, and what we're going to be doing is voting on the 4 most qualified firms, and then we're going to be inviting them to an interview. I think the interview is March 18th is what we're earmarking. Okay, so next week is a special meeting, so there will be other items on the agenda, but the primary focus of that meeting will be the shortlisting of the 4 firms. Yeah, hi, Jim.
Another important criteria that I would like.
You need the mic.
It's another important criteria is the number of change orders and percentage of change orders on the projects. So we want to know that they can design projects with plans sufficiently detailed so that we don't have issues with the contractors trying to determine what it is and seeking more information and something going awry in that regard, because they are the designers. So I just want to mention that one.
Thank you, Jim. Good point. So that's part of the quality services that we talked about. Yeah, Kevin.
So we have a boilerplate for the interviews. We will write the day after the meeting next week. We're not sending out until it passes town council, but we have tentative right now was the March 18th, Joe. If you just want to maybe set the times up so we could have to be determined, but we'll have a boilerplate ready to go out.
Yeah. I mean, what I was thinking of, if this is acceptable to the committee on the 18th, is that we would break it up into 2 sessions. We would have 2 back to back. We would break for a quick dinner, and then we would have the second two, something like that, so that, we're not sitting there for almost 4 hours, right after.
When do we start?
We'll have to figure out how early we can start. I'd like to suggest something like 5 o'clock, if that's feasible for everybody. I don't know if the committee can make 5 or something like that. Sound good? Okay. That's good? Yeah. So what we'll do is. You hear music? Oh. Yeah. Thank you.
This is next Tuesday, the 25th.
Yes, it's a week from tonight. Thank you.
No, the interviews is, the 4 hours is.
Oh, and I'm sorry, the 18th of March, right? We're coming together next week to shortlist. Yeah. Next week's meeting will be the normal 7 o'clock meeting. Okay? Yeah.
I just have a question because I'm recognizing a name here. Is there any conflict of interest with Tecton considering they did the original facilities assessment?
I wouldn't imagine there would be. That's what we typically do see. Firms that have done the study will typically submit for the actual project, so there's really no conflict of interest. The information that they've produced has been issued to everybody, so everybody, in essence, has the work products. They have the ed specs, they have the studies. So, they're a little bit more accustomed to the project, but I don't think there's any conflict of interest. Okay. Any questions on the next week? Yeah, Ann.
Are you gonna send out like a how we're gonna
Yep.
do this next week? Just to
Yeah, I'll make sure that's included
Okay.
before next week.
okay. I just
Okay.
need to like mentally prepare.
Yeah. Once you start reading the books, you'll start getting a picture of what the firms are talking about, and hopefully you'll begin to call out which ones you think are the most qualified.
I'm new to this, Joe. So.
I get it. No, I get it. It's not hard. You can do it. So any questions about the architectural process? I'll do that at the end. Yeah. I have a little primer that I'll give you, at the end of the meeting that will help. Okay, so let's go on to the next topic, which is the draft for the construction management services. I don't know where Kevin went. He's in the hall. Could you call him? So Kevin, we're moving on to the construction management RFP. You want to give a little update on that? And then we'll make a motion to try to get that issued.
Okay, so right now we're on version 3. I think I sent it out of the construction man. I was just going through with Joe to dot the I's and cross the T's. And once we get version 4, that'll be ready to go out hopefully before the end of this month. And then we'll have the certain date on it. Be a little bit, if it goes out the end of this month, probably do the first week, second week of April. We'll have a mandatory walkthrough up there also for the construction manager at risk with the guaranteed maximum price. So we're on version 3. Just to let you know, there is a little internal issue with me getting Joe's emails, him getting mine. So we're going through Barb now with the Barracuda system we have here. So there was a little delay. I apologize. Just waiting for Joe to get back. And I don't know if there's a committee. I have Jim on it also, and
Yeah.
Andrew on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the email because everybody I send an email to gets it. So, Kevin, I'm not sure why I'm getting the bounce back, and it's not every time. It's only on occasion I get a bounce back from you. So whoever's running your IT, maybe you can.
That's a losing battle for me. I brought it up to Vicky, Maria, and IT, and they told me you have to change your email. That's all I was told, but I can't get them. Everyone I find is in Barracuda, and there's 3 or 4 of them stacked. So I'm going through Barb now.
Okay.
to go to you to back to me.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we can work that out before long. But anyway, so everybody's received a draft, an earlier draft of the CM RFP. I'd like a motion to allow Kevin to finish it up and get it out on the street.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on the CM RFP? We're going to firm up the dates for everybody, but it does look like sometime in April.
So
when
is
we're
that,
gonna
that's
get
the
it.
only, like, that's the version 4 is the dates?
Yes,
Okay.
and just Joe had taking some stuff out. I just wanted to ask him if he wanted to keep it out, to leave it a CM or CMAR. You know,
Oh, that was just nomenclature,
Okay.
just to save a little bit of typing?
yeah. Most of yours was just
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's a couple other things in there, but here we go.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we have to work out is the mandatory walkthrough.
Yeah.
So I think you had it on the 20th, probably not practical. So I'm thinking maybe the following week or something like that. But take a look at that and talk to the educators.
Yep.
Okay.
Will do.
All right. So
One question?
Yes.
And Joe, this will be the same, similar process as the architect, RFQ
Yes,
/ RFP?
very, very similar process where we're going to reduce it to 4 and then have an interview. Okay? So very similar. It just follows on the heels of this process. So all in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any abstentions? Nays? No? Unanimous. Thank you very much. So the next item, the next item is review of meeting schedule, but I do want to let the committee know that we're also writing the RFP for the owner's project manager. So that is also something that we're going to be getting out on the street after the CM gets on the street. So there's a little bit of a concurrency here. So we're doing 3 things really at the same time, which is tough sometimes, but we're getting it done. So there's going to be an RFP for the owner's project manager. That's going to be out probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. So we're working on that right now. The other thing I want to do is go over the meeting schedule. Has everybody received the list of meetings? Okay, so that's there because we have to provide it. There will be some special meetings, and if there's a meeting that we don't have an agenda for, we'll cancel that meeting. There is going to be a special meeting for next week, as I mentioned before. That notice will go out very shortly, and we'll make sure that we have the agenda on that as well. Okay, any questions, any topics, Kevin?
Okay, so what we didn't talk about was you're going to take these home. You're going to come up with a evaluation of the top 4. We did not give you a scoring sheet for that. I will try to get that out within the next day or two, because we meet next week, so you can score on the topics that Joe brought up before, myself and Jim with the change orders. 2, when we do the March 18th, we will have a boilerplate letter of award for invitation to come in. I just want to ask Joe, are we going to give them any, like maybe 10 questions or 10 things to bring to prepare for their presentation that we want them to speak to specifically for the 45 or 30 minutes they're going to speak? That's what I was.
Yeah, I think what we can do in our letter, we can list a few items in there, and that way they can become prepared. We'll give them how many minutes they have and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we should do that then. Okay. Any question?
Yeah, I just
Yes.
wanted to talk about the April 15th meeting. That's during school vacation. I didn't know I will not be able to make it. I don't know if that affects other members of the committee.
Good, okay.
Yeah, that won't work for me either.
Good to know, thank you for telling me that. Yeah.
That's a pretty big meeting, so
So that's school vacations.
that's scheduled to be the the interviews of the shortlisted CMs.
Okay. We may have to do a special meeting either before or after, most likely after. All right, we'll adjust our schedule accordingly. Thank you for letting me know about that.
Joe, quick question.
Yeah.
Do we anticipate the meetings are going to be in here, or is it going to be sort of a moving target depending on space?
Okay, so next week's meeting is here in this room. All right, we're going to be working in here. we are still trying to figure out our permanent home. Right, so it's bouncing between the Board of Ed offices and this place. We're still working on that. Okay.
Joe, do you have anything to, or just let Bill and I know if there's anything we need to ask the council to do? Like in terms of approval and all that stuff?
I'm sorry, could you speak?
Do you, like if there's some, we need the town council to approve,
Oh, yes.
like the approvals of CMs and all that?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Kevin, the question I have for you is, do we need the town council to approve the short list or just the final selection?
Final selection.
Okay,
Just the final.
just the final, okay. So we won't need that until the end of March. And that'll be a reoccurring theme with the CM as well as the OPM and any other consultants that we bring on board. Bless you. Jim, do you have anything else?
No.
No? I'm just waiting for you to make a speech or something. You good?
I'm all set. No,
Okay.
Nothing right now.
Anything else for the committee tonight? Any questions on the process or anything like that? No? You got a lot of reading to do this weekend? It's going to be interesting. I think what you'll find is there's a lot of great firms here, done a lot of great work. I think you'll be pretty impressed with the portfolios. So we have a good selection from this pile. Okay? Good?
Is this all confidential information, or how?
Yeah, I'd like you guys to keep this information confidential until we can actually make a selection. So, please, look at it. If you have a question, please submit that question to me. I'll make sure I get an answer to everybody. That's okay?
These are public record, right? These have been submitted as a matter of public record. So if the member of the public wanted to take a look at these, they could.
Once awarded. Once awarded an awarded contract, they will become FOIable and public. Until then, they do not.
Okay.
The results are not, nothing's posted, even the names, until after March 18th.
Last question. But these copies are ours, right? We can make notes and everything on
Yes,
them, right?
please.
Right. Just
Yeah.
verifying that.
I do not want them back when you're done.
Yeah, you could bring notes to next week's meeting. You can write all over these. I will create my own notes based on what I've read, okay? Any way you want to do it. All right. At this point, is there any other business, any other questions? Jim?
Yeah, I have one point. I have a checklist for review of architectural and engineering qualifications for this purpose, which I can circulate. It's kind of helpful to go through the materials, and it gives you points to
Yeah.
identify along the way.
That'd be great if we can make copies.
Yeah.
Can we do that tonight? Or do you
Sure.
want to email that?
I was going to send it electronically.
Okay, that'd be better.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Send it to me and I'll get it out to everybody. All right? Any other business? No? Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, everybody. I can send you.
All right. 2 a day.